Read you out an example of a pretty comprehensive revoking consent. Best not to do this until you've got about 20 people around you doing it at the same time, just for protection. If you're not already targeted, you will become targeted if you're seen to be on your own. Self-publicised public notice due to controlled media. To all concerned, I, name in lowercase, born, put your born day, hereby give formal notice that having investigated thoroughly authority services and inverted injustices, that I can confirm evidencing the unlawful actions of legal fraud deceptions utilising the name in capitals and its deceived consent via the birth certificate and all its associated profitable scams, extortions and corruptions. The deception creates the covert trading legal entrapment. Note, God's law, Torah, has not been removed, it has just been obscured. Note, legal entrapment is unlawful, it is recognised crime, so I with immediate effect revoke all consents to all legal matters, past and present, unless a dual signed contract is held, shown in my real name signature. Therefore, I do not consent, I do not contract, I do not acquiesce, nor trade, or allow access or inquiry to my nor my children's Sister K Vi Trust, Social Security account, otherwise known as withheld estate. Everyone and bar no one has a duty in law to not commit crime, deceive, abuse, entrap, exploit, or extort. All deemed authorities are now notified and therefore have no legal jurisdiction against me. I am now not deemed dead, lost at sea, and I am no longer to be contacted or addressed in the legally entrapping trading name in capitals, nor be identified in the law-revoking status of Master, Mr., Mrs. or Miss. I shall continue to investigate and evidence all individuals involved as part of the ongoing public investigation/exposure. This deception is a national and international historic secret kept by benefiting Freemasonic secret societies, their corporations, central banking, war debt profiteering, and for all scams, bond equity frauds and their conduits. These and the covert control only remain via the upheld and maintained public naivety and debilitation until now. I notify you that I am also now aware and comprehending the deceptive form of legalese language as another unlawful instrument of manipulatively legally entrapping. Therefore, I am only to be addressed as man, woman, or member of the public from now on, not an understanding person, civilian, or citizen. I am aware of all the historic Machiavellian principles used, including the Great Fire of London and bubonic plague ruse, used extensively to sneak in the CQV deception uncontended for the corrupt Canon Acts, plus the associated historic facade of day count plans and the depopulation schemed deceptions associated. Also now exposed is the extent of bond equity profiteering, facading fraud courts that are businesses disguised as courts and upheld as fraud by facading professionals/judiciary that provide only bogus documents via proxies. Phoenix scam, business destruction, takeover, insolvency, plus the mortgage fraud and property scams. This also in accordance with the corresponding family fraud court, with all New World Order international schemes are now identified as using bogus gagging orders. These systematic collusions are substantially pro-narcissistic, pro-abuser, pro-legal, pro-deviant pedophile, and cover up omnipotent Freemason organised corruptions. So I state on the record that the inverted outcomes that were previously inverted and inexplicable were for extending extortion via drawn-out cases that induced pro-narcissistic parental alienation, forced adoption, child trafficking and care home abuses, and cover-ups in their outcomes. These were all going against obvious children's needs, wishes and personal welfare. This has all been in the systematic guise that prevents witnesses, evidence, authentic documents, recording, and by the fraud name and no accountability. So this has been kept covert and all done in private. I and my property/issue, that's your children, have been imposed into debilitation, threat and harm, now known as manipulations. I am not fooled by the coronavirus, 5G, vaccines, or the confusional order out of chaos depopulation threats. I now contend all actions, control, oppression and legal entrapments, the Admiralty beast rising of the sea, with law, and I am restoring my status to man, woman, and so restoring God's law, Torah, in the process. This notice has been shared directly to a minimum of 20 members of the local public before being served. Then you put your autograph and date of revoked consent, which for me was 26th of March 2022, for the record.